Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to Robert's Sports Show. I'm your host, Robert. Alright, as we are counting down to the 2026 Daytona 500, we are just a mere 44 days away. We are into the new year. We just crossed New Year's Day. We know we're less than a month away from the Cookout Clash at Bowman Gray. Less than a month away to see cars on track. And then we'll ramp up for that Daytona 500. But we are 44 days away from the 500. So we're going to profile car number 44 like we've been doing since 104. Alright, 1,035 races for the number 44 in the Cup Series. 13 wins among 6 different drivers. 99 drivers have driven the number 44 in the Cup Series. 157 top 5s. 325 top 10s. 28 poles. The first race was actually NASCAR's first race. June 19, 1949. The last race was actually NASCAR's last race. November 2nd, 2025. Chevrolet, 366 times. The bow tie was on the number 44. 195 times is the Pontiac. 122 times is the Ford. 119 times is the Oldsmobile. 110 times is the Dodge. 66 Toyota. 63 Buick. 43 Plymouth. 4 Hudson. 3 Cadillac. 2 Lincoln. 2 Mercury. and 1 Nash. Now, when I personally think of the 44, I think of that old Hot Wheels 44 that Kyle Petty drove. I think of that 44 Piedmont Airline that Terry Labonte drove. Or I think of the 44 Slim Jim car in the Busch Series. So, when I do this research, some of this I don't know, some of this I already know. You know, my brain's like, oh yeah, I remember this. And there's sometimes like, that's only a season. It's like, how do I remember that car for just one season? But the 44 car, obviously multiple seasons, multiple different drivers. We know when, after 2000, once Adam Petty was killed, Kyle actually stepped out of the 44 and went into the 45 in memory of Adam. And so we had a lot of different drivers for the 44 for Richard Petty Motorsports at the time, or Petty Enterprises. Now, we know that Legacy Motor Club in 2027 will go to a third full-time team. I hope they're able to get to 44 as the third number. I think it would be cool to bring Legacy Motor Club to 42, 43, and 44, kind of bring that Petty legacy back to it. Let's hope they're able to do that. Alright, Terry Labonte has the most starts in the number 44. Big O shocker with that one because of his time in the Piedmont Airline number 44. And the 44 Budweiser car, yes, there was a 44 Budweiser car. If you've never seen this car, go look it up. It looks totally weird. Not used to being that 44 number on the Budweiser sponsorship. Terry Labonte, 259 starts in that 44, 6 wins, 74 top 5s, 138 top 10s, average finish of 44.5, plus the 1984 championship. I believe he drove the 44 car. Kyle Petty, 114 starts in the 44, 2 top 5s, 81 top 10s, average finish of 23.9. And that's the, for me, as a, I don't know if I call myself a historian, but basically a fan who goes look at the history of the sport up, but I also like the legacy of the sport. I like to be able to merge the old with the new and everything. And Kyle Petty in the 44, that just, if you know some of the history, you know, you had Lee Petty in the 42. And then when Kyle drove the 42 Mellow Yellow, he drove the 42 because it was his grandfather's number. You had Richard in the 43. Kyle went into the 44, kind of that family legacy. When Richard Butter Moise drove, he was a mechanic most of his career, but he drove 2 races. He actually drove the 41. There's actually some Petty blue pictures of the 41. When the Pettys owned the car that the Petty did drive, it was the number 40. Pete Hamilton, he won Daytona 500 with it. Adam was going to be the 45 because Kyle was the 44. His couple different appearances of Petty Enterprises. And then Richard Petty's other grandson that drives in the Truck Series and drives the one of the sports the Corvettes. He drives a Corvette. I can't think of it. Thad Moffitt is who I'm talking about. He drives a 46. So I always love that kind of the Pettys. 40 through 46 is kind of all the Petty and all the Petty generations. So Kyle there in the 44, his time in the 44. Next up we had Sterling Marlin, who actually, I believe, took over that Piedmont Airline 44 for Billy Hagan, if I remember correctly. I have to check on that. 58 starts in the 44 for Sterling, 10 top 5s, 21 top 10s, average finish 15.3. Buckshot Jones, who drove the 44 when Kyle was in the 45. 37 starts, 31.9 average finish. The Dinger, AJ Allmendinger, he drove the 44 for Petty Enterprises, also drove the 43. 36 starts, 1 top 5, 6 top 10s, average finish 22.4. Brian Scott, 36 starts, 1 top 5, 1 top 10, average finish 27.7. Three-time NASCAR convertible champion Bob Wellborn, 29 starts in the number 44 in the Cup Series, 1 win, 10 top 5s, 22 top 10s, average finish of 8.7. Former NASCAR champion, NASCAR Hall of Famer Rex White, 25 starts, 2 wins, 16 top 5s, 20 top 10s, average finish of 7.5. On the Xfinity side, 55 drivers started in the number 44, over 842 races from September 25th, 1982 through November 1st, 2025. 12 wins, 82 top 5s, 162 top 10s. Bobby Labonte had the most starts, and it was owned by his dad, Bob Labonte. 136 starts, 8 wins, 45 top 5s, 83 top 10s, average finish 11.7. David Green, who took over that ride for Bobby Labonte when he moved to the Cup Series, 82 starts, 2 wins, 20 top 5s, 36 top 10s, average finish of 14.7. Mark Harmon, 76 starts, average finish of 34.9. Terry's son, Justin Labonte, 73 starts, 1 win, 1 top 5, 3 top 10s, average finish of 25.8. Tommy Joe Martin, we know he owns a bunch of Xfinity cars now. 68 starts in the number 44 Xfinity car, 1 top 10, average finish 22.5. Brendan Poole, who still actively drives an Xfinity Series, 66 starts in the number 44, 3 top 5s, 7 top 10s, average finish of 19.7. Texas Terry Labonte, so we had basically 3 generations involved in this car. Bob Labonte owned it for a while, if I remember correctly. Terry drove it and Bobby drove it, and then Terry's son Justin drove it. 22 starts for Terry Labonte in the 44 Xfinity car, 1 win, 5 top 5s, 7 top 10s, average finish of 18.5. The 44 in the Truck Series, 50 different drivers for 257 different races, 1 winner, 14 top 5s, 39 top 10s. First race was March 17th, 1996. Last race was October 31st, 2025. Borisset has the most starts in the number 44 in the truck, 58 starts, 1 win, 6 top 5s, 9 top 10s, average finish of 19.4. Tommy Joe Martins, 25 starts, average finish 24.3. Brian Refner, 23 starts, 3 top 5s, 9 top 10s, average finish of 16.8. And Chris Wright, 17 starts, average finish of 25.5. Now, I'm only doing a snapshot of everyone who drove these particular numbers. If you go to driveraverages.com, put in the car number you're looking at, you can look at the full list of everyone that drove it. Now, next off season, I'm going to do the countdown as well, and we're going to just concentrate on the Cup Series and more with the owners and all that, what different owners had it, ran it. Now, these numbers are not owned by the teams, they are owned by NASCAR. Each team has to pay a fee each year to use the number. Some of these numbers don't get used, obviously. Some of these numbers get kept by a team year after year after year. Sometimes they change. From my understanding, I don't know this for a fact, but from my understanding, if a team, like I mentioned earlier, that I'd like to see Legacy Motor Club get the 44. Currently, New York Racing has the 44. I believe they can go, if Legacy Motor Club truly wanted to do the 44, they could go to New York Racing and say, hey, we really want the 44. Some of these transactions do involve a transaction. And then they go to NASCAR and say, hey, we've agreed to use the 44, and this team is going to switch to a next number available, whatever the case is, and NASCAR approves it, and we move on, and now you can change numbers. That's happened in the past, I know that. But yeah, and there are some numbers that, there's one number in particular that's actually paid by the family, by the owner. It's not used, number 28. Doug Yates pays the fee each year for NASCAR to use that number, so no one else can, and he doesn't have a team. So it's some of the behind the scenes stuff with these car numbers is very fascinating to me, and then obviously learning the history of them is just as fascinating as well. But yeah, we are 44 days away from the 2026 Daytona 500. Can't wait. New season, new adventures, some drivers in new places. all 3 series. We found out a couple of announcements for the truck series for the St. Petersburg. Mike Seneca and Dario Franchitti in the truck. Oh my goodness, on a street course. Yeah, that's gonna be pretty fun. Pretty fun weekend gonna happen there in St. Petersburg. Doubleheader with the IndyCar and NTT IndyCar series. But yeah, as always, thanks for watching the Harvard Sports Show. Don't just have a great day. Have a spiffy day. Harvard Sports Show, your YouTube leader in sports channel content.